Hello and welcome to Malaga for the post-game press conference following the big final at the 2023 Basketball Champions League Final Four. For this first part of the press conference, we have with us Hapoel Jerusalem, Levi Randolph on behalf of the players, and of course head coach Alexander Djikic. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. Levi, I understand it must be hard to collect your thoughts at this moment, but can you give us an impression of how would you sum up the game and the final for us?
It was a tough one for us today. We knew they were a good team. They got a lot of good pieces. We had a rough first half, and defensively, that's where we hang our hats, but they were better today. So, I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of my coach, my coaching staff. Appreciate everybody. I think everybody tried. We had a great season. Came up short one game, an important game, but proud of my guys.
Thank you, Levi. Coach, you said before the final that you don't think one game defines a team.
Yeah.
And I suppose you stand by that statement tonight?
Yes, I'm 52. I don't change my opinions easily. Congrats to our opponents. At the end, they have a coach of the year, they have an MVP, so I guess all those votes were right. They were better tonight, and that's it. I'm not satisfied with myself in this game. And we lost. So if you have some questions, I'll try to answer.
Thank you. Questions for Levi first, please. The gentleman here with the blue jacket.
Good evening, Levi. I know it must be tough, but can you talk about, please, TJ Shorts, who had an amazing game, an historic game for the BCL, highest scorer for final. What did you have planned to try to stop him, and how, what can you say about his performance?
He played well. He had a great team, a great game. He runs his team, so he helped him.
Any other questions for Levi?
I would like to, if you can elaborate and talk a little bit about the experience of the Final Four, the amazing quality of the teams performing here. Your team playing in the final is a huge success. You can talk a little bit about the experience here.
Like I said, I'm proud of my organization. I'm proud of my coach, my coaches, my teammates. It's a great experience. It's not a great feeling today, but like I said, like Coach said, one game doesn't define our season. We played hard. We came up short.
Thank you, Levi. If there are no more questions, you can go. Thank you very much. Questions for the coach, please? The gentleman here.
Hello, Coach. You say you're not satisfied about yourself in this game. Can you please elaborate?
It's a long story. We don't have time. It's a live feed. So I guess maybe we should try something else. Maybe we would win. Who knows? But I didn't try it. Players didn't try it. That's it. I was expecting us to move the ball a little bit more, but now it's too late for that, honestly. And that's it.
Any other questions for the coach?
Coach, you came back from the locker room while your rival was celebrating. It was a tough moment for you, a moment of joy for your rival. That speaks a lot about you, about how much credit you give to them. It was a touching move by you. We thought so many in the media.
Yeah, they're my opponents. They're not my enemies. I came out. They deserved. I hope they will do the same if we win. That's all. I mean, we tried, they tried, and they were better this time.
Thank you. One final question for the coach, if there's any. No, there isn't. Coach,
Thanks,
thank you.
guys. Good luck.
This concludes the first part of the press conference. We'll be back very shortly with Telekom Basketball. Welcome back to Malaga for the second part of the post-game press conference. For this part, we have with us the newly crowned BCL champions, Telekom Basketball, Final Four and season MVP TJ Shorts, and of course head coach Tuomas Isalo. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. Congratulations. TJ, you've just made history yourself individually. You've become the first player to collect both MVP awards, both the season award and the Final Four MVP. You also had the highest scoring final in BCL history, 29 points. Can you describe for the rest of us, how does it feel to achieve all that much on one night?
I don't think words can put it into place on how I feel. I mean, really the only thing I can say here is that I'm grateful to my coaches, head coach sitting next to me, my teammates, everybody that's a part of this club, the fans, my family, anybody that's really just been a part of my journey to get to this position. I'm grateful for them, and this is all those awards are just a testament to them believing in me and instilling the confidence in me to be able to do what I do on the floor.
Thank you. Coach, historic achievement for your team, first German team, first title in the history of the club. You need to describe again a little bit how does it feel to be in the situation?
Just like TJ said, probably for the first time in these press conferences, I'm at a loss for words. The club has an incredible history. It was founded in 1995. There are 5 finals losses. There's not one championship won, and I'll tell you guys a little story. I was watching with my family the football World Cup final, Argentina versus France, and my kids, for I don't know who they were rooting for, but after the game they showed Kylian Mbappe, who was crying on the field, on the pitch, and obviously very disappointed. And my wife said to our kids, who were like, "Why is he crying?" He said, "Well, he'll have plenty more opportunities. He's still young." And me, of course, being the party pooper, said that that's probably, he has already had his biggest success as an athlete, and it's much more likely that he will never win anything anymore if you look at the odds, how difficult it is to win a World Cup. And the next day we went through this with the team in practice, that you get these type of opportunities. If you get an opportunity like this, how rare it is, and to make everything out of that opportunity, because we approached every day like this is the best season and the happiest season, and the season that is no season is going to ever eclipse in every day. And we never took one day for granted in practice. And when we spoke about that story, that, you know, if this is that season for us, you know, let's make sure we make everything out of it, and there's no what ifs. And now to be in this position here after winning with these guys, I mean, it is something I never even dreamed of, honestly. I was not a very good player. I was an average player. I never won anything. The championships, they avoided me like the plague. And this is the first time I've ever won something, so that has an enormous significance to me also personally. But to do it with guys like TJ, everybody in our team, and the like yesterday or the day before, I was like, how did we achieve this? It was like we threw a lot of human pain and suffering at this project, you know, and this is a testament to what we were able to accomplish through that work. And it's something unique, and it's something that now is etched into the history books, and nobody can ever take this away from us. So I'm looking forward to the reunion in 20 years when we will get drunk in the Bahamas.
See you there. See you there, Coach.
You might still be playing then.
Thank you, Coach. Before we move on to that reunion, let's take questions for today. The gentleman there in the jacket.
Congratulations, TJ. You probably have the most dominated season in the history of the NBA, of the BCL.
That's next year.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Some of the players that have played before you, you know, in the BCL, are now playing for some, you know, some of the best leagues in the world. What's the next step for you after this season?
I think the next step is something cold to drink, maybe some water, recovery, a little celebration with the team, those things in the future, they're uncontrollable. You can't worry about those things in these kind of moments. Can't worry about those things while you're playing in a season. And I'm a firm believer in God, and I know what He has written for me. No one can take that. So whatever's in my future, postseason of this season, I'll handle it when that time comes. But right now, I'm gonna enjoy this one with my coaches, with my teammates, with my family.
Thank you. Gentleman here. Just Taylor.
TJ, you know, so often said, especially when you come to Europe, where often, if people don't know basketball, they think it's a sport for big guys, for big players, and yet you've kind of demonstrated that, you know, if you have heart, if you have talent, if you're willing to work, you can be just as good, just as impactful. I mean, what is kind of the message that maybe there's other young kids out there in America, maybe there's smaller kids in Europe, a lot of them end up playing other sports, but, you know, what about basketball?
Obviously, I'm kind of asked that question a lot, being a smaller player, and the message is the same. It sounds cliche, but if there's something that you want to do, you put your mind to it and you put 100% into what you want to do, you can achieve anything. And for me, it went all the way back to high school when I made that decision that at the time I wanted to get to a Division I level. From there, becoming a pro, you just put in work after work after work, and eventually, if you put 100% into what you want to do, it'll unfold for you, and you'll be able to have the world at your fingertips. And it goes for anything. Obviously, here the setting is basketball, but if you want to become an engineer, if you want to become a soccer player, whatever it is, you put your mind to it, you can do it.
And for Thomas, you've got the MVP next to you, but it really struck me watching you in this Final Four. You've got a number of MVPs in your team. You're not here if all of these guys, if one piece in the machine breaks down. Remembering how Kessens played in the first game, or when you played at Strasbourg after you were 0-1 down in the quarterfinals. Watching how certain players came in and made big plays. Malcolm always popped up and made big shots. Just the dedication. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
I wish you guys knew what these guys went through in practice. I mean, it was deep end day after day, and we pretty soon went in the preseason, we knew that we have something special, and like I said before, we wanted to make sure we don't let it slip between the fingers, and the amount of smart work because of a lot of games, but the amount of hard work, the amount of, like, all I can say is that we had 12, 13 guys in the team who completely surrendered to the process. And I mean that in the best, most respectful way I can say, that everybody put the team first and everybody realized that we can do something special, but it's going to take every one of us. And we never thought about it as individuals. You know, I know that TJ and I are the ones who get a lot of the press and a lot of the publicity because I'm there on the sideline standing and TJ has the ball in his hands. But I don't think there's a more collective team in basketball in whole of Europe, you know, and maybe not in the world. And we are incredibly proud of this, and that shines through everybody's answers, that it's just a group of guys that you enjoy spending time with. And that's one of the biggest perks of coaching, that you actually get to choose your coworkers for the most part, and we did a hell of a job with that. And then we pushed them really to the brink, and they not only accepted it, they embraced it and ran away with it. And it's an amazing feeling, because of, like, I was literally in tears after the game, like just sobbing because of, like, all the work that we put in. And I know how much these guys went through, and I know there were days when they probably said, like, fuck this guy, you know, like this is too much, you know. But to have that reward for that is something like out of this world.
Congrats to both of you. TJ, you said it numerous times how family is important to you. Is this the best Mother's Day ever?
I mean, this is definitely one of a Mother's Day I will never forget. I mean, after the game, you know, before the game, you're in a whirlwind of emotions. I know my parents were probably more stressed out than me. I know my dad couldn't really eat. Mom's probably freaking out, but after the game, you know, when you get to embrace and those emotions just let out, I told her Happy Mother's Day. She said that's the best gift that she could ever receive, is just seeing me happy. So, yeah.
Coach, right now you're in vacation mode. Are you going to give them...
We start playoffs on Wednesday,
I was
by
about
the way,
to say.
against Chemnitz, so it's a short-ass vacation.
I was about to say, when's the next practice happening?
Tomorrow at around 3 o'clock at the Telekom Dome, we start our preparation against Chemnitz, so we're going to have to find a very delicate balance between enjoying this historical achievement and then, you know, see what happens in the BBL. I mean, I don't feel like the last chapter in the story of our team has been written, but it's going to take a lot of hard work and keep kind of the what's the thing that we always say? The main thing is to keep the main thing.
The main thing.
Yes, that's the thing, you know? And we are all about winning, and that's how we go about our business.
Hi, TJ. Your personal story of overcoming difficulties all along your career since college and not being drafted, being here now, MVP of the season with this title, is this like a message to all those that doubted about you, or you think more about those who supported you?
I think about more of the people that supported me from the start. The message when you start to become successful, I guess, the media, I mean, that's your guys' job to create narratives, I guess, or write stories about different players and how they got to where they got. But the ones that are in your circle, they're as strong as a rock from when you were basically a nobody to when you're on top of the mountain. And I know that'll never change for the circle that I have. And I can't say thank you to the people that supported me along this journey.
Coach, your team was tagged as the Cinderella of the Final Four. How should we tag you now? As the big bad wolf or
champ?
How?
Champ. What was that?
You were branded
champions, baby.
Champ.
That's the tag from now on.
Any more questions? Yes.
Congrats to both of you. I have a question for you, Coach, because I was watching TJ. He was more impressed with the control he had of the game. He always had the momentum of the game besides scoring. I mean, of course, the individual performance was great, but I'm curious about what do you look on TJ to pick him in your team? What made you think that's my guy?
Well, you know, as a Finnish guy, I'm probably not the sharpest tool in the shed, but my speech to TJ, you might remember this, was we were interested in him already 2 summers before. The next summer, and then this summer, I finally, you know, called him and said, "Hey, come on, I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. So, you know, I don't want to make the same mistake 3 times in a row." So, and it was incredible. That was something we spoke about after the game ended. You know, that we both felt like if we connect, if we combine our forces and build the right team around us, we could shock the world. And this was one of my first thoughts after the game. Like, I went to TJ and told him, you know, I wasn't lying. You know, we actually pulled it off, and that's something really special. So, I mean, I could go on here for a couple of hours to speak about the qualities of this guy right here on my left. He's like the leadership he provides on a daily basis, like how much confidence he gives me as a coach, like seeing him with the ball in his hands, I just feel like something good's going to happen, you know? He has the veto right, so to speak, with every play call. He can change them to whatever he feels right because he sees more on the floor, and we are there to help him. And at the same time, like, his connection with the other teammates is incredible. He has the right balance of pushing guys, of providing them with confidence. He keeps it loose, but is incredibly focused. And I have never met a more determined, tougher, and like a guy when the game gets more, let's say, tighter towards the end, that he's able to maintain or even go up a level is something absolutely unique. And for me, I feel super privileged to be part of his story and to be his coach. So those are my feelings about TJ.
Thank you, Coach. Any more questions? Okay.
Got something. A little late.
It's definitely not coming.
We'll see. It's like my city, yes.
So are we done here?
That's it.
Hey, we gotta go, man. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, we gotta go.
Well, I guess.
Wrap it up, man, we gotta go.
This is the first one. Public viewing. Hey, everybody back in Bond. We gonna bring this trophy back. We gonna celebrate this one. Yes, sir. Oh, I can't wait to get back. See everybody. I appreciate all the support. Everybody that I don't even know. The emotions are everywhere. Thank you.
Completely at loss for words, and I'm happy that we made history. I hope you guys are proud of us. Thank you.
We are very, very. Thank you
This includes the post-game press conference. That's right there.